Howdy. Good, good. G'day, Rose. In the morning I draw what picture? Any picture. Whatever's going, guys. Let me just whack that there. Yeah, good. Good, 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 good. Hey, Chris. I'm good. And give me just a second, guys. It's a bit of wind around, but I'll sort that out. I'll sort that out. That's the easiest thing to fix of all. Once the canvas is up. Hey LJ and Roslyn. Yes indeed. Yes indeed. One button too many. It's your birthday on the 8th. Birthday on the 8th. Your birthday's surprisingly close to Michelle these days. Exciting. Bear with me, guys. Give me a good sound. There we go. Perfect. With a bit of luck, that'll improve our sound a little bit. But let me know. There we go. Perfect. A skeleton. It's not really my jam, but I'm glad it's yours. More of a human kind of a guy. Now what's good is if I talk and I'm facing this way, you'll still be able to hear me. Big improvement. And hey, Bo Selector. Right. We need another one of these. And we're going to do a slight modification. Here we go. Hey Vernon. Yeah. Old nature's got it going on. Just excuse me while I move you from stand to stand. Ooh, it's a good question though. That's what we're dealing with is a blend. It's a blend of acrylic and egg tempera. So it's a bit of both, but I'll show you. And watercolor, hand gouache, and oil paint actually. So here's our mix, ready to go. Already blended, waiting to go on this delightful surface, which is still in the car. But the idea will make sense in a second, guys. And we have a stack of plates, one of which I cracked, which is a disaster, but that's okay. That's okay. I was driving with it in the car and I went over a speed bump, broke it. So that was tough. But luckily, we've got a good stack of plates. Painkillers. And this little device, which you never realize you need until you absolutely need it. So this goes down below the easel and it winds into the ground just like that. We won't have to go too deep today because we're not too exposed. And then, I might just go down a little bit deeper so it doesn't pull out on me. There we go. And that holds the easel down. Oh, Leilani. We're doing a commission right now, but I am definitely behind. So I'm sorry about that, Leilani. But Roslyn, I am a mixture of both. But if you want the full details, it's all in the bio. So every detail you need. All the places that I got. Went to art school, did tutoring, learnt, grew, changed, all the things. All the things. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Cheers, Leilani. I appreciate that. Now let's put you guys in a good position so you can see this canvas. How is that? I reckon that's pretty good. We're in the shade, and the shade's kind of handy because it makes sure it's not too intense with the sun on me. Cheers, Burden. And with that shade means that we're still going to drink lots of water, but it's not as essential as it would be if we were under that blistering sun. I put myself out there to start with, but man, it's just pounding down today. So I thought, let's get this somewhere nice and shady and just have a bit of a play. Layer one, snacks. You know, that's a good question, Skeleton. And the answer is I should, but I don't. So that's on me. I did bring a water bottle though, and a water bottle will have to suffice today. Now, the next thing I need, artists who've inspired me. Jeepers, that's a good question. And hi, Sky. I'm going to answer that in just a second. I just need to put this on. Oh, are we still here? We are. Cool, cool. Just turning the hotspot on my phone, so then on my iPad, I can connect up here. But artists who've inspired, look, I like the classics, the greats. I like Monet, Rembrandt, I like Picasso, Van Gogh, but I typically find that it's people who don't do art who inspire you about art. It's those who connect with it and feel something. It's those who, probably most importantly, people who take real pride in their craft. A good example would be like a plumber, a builder, someone who creates curtains or carpet. Someone who really cares about what they do and has passion behind it, and you can take elements of that and put it into your own craft. Yes, raw art, fantastic. Get inspired by artists, I get it. But sometimes, seeing someone doing what they love can inspire you to do what you love. Anyway, let me leap on in here. I need to go into my here. Ding. Now I just need to track down. Got to find our photo. That's what we need. I think it might be on here. Cheers, Skeleton. Cheers, Jay Smith. All right, guys, I'm just going to leap out for a moment, and I'm going to just send myself the photo. 1 second, team. Hey there, Farah. Okay, I think we've done it. Oh, no, we haven't. Sent it through to the wrong thing. Now we've fixed it. All right. From one device to another device. And we've got it. It was an uphill battle, but we've got it. Okay, here's our picture team. There we go. Here we are. This is our lovely shot. Now the next thing we need to do is size it so it's just right for the surface. There we go. I'll show you how we change it in just a second. There we go. Beautiful. So there's our resize. So we've got lots of background in there, tons of background, but we're leaping into the focus point. And yes, Jay Smith, it is. It is, it is, it is. So it's a last minute one that we've aimed to get in just prior to Christmas. Here we go. Up we come on our stem. I'm just going to put it in here. There we go. Beautiful. All right, that's all sorted. Picture's up, canvas is up. Now we need paint on a plate. Paint on a plate. See that wind? This is exactly why, team, exactly why we put that little bungee down to pinch it, to really hold it into place. Because who knows how strong that wind can get. All right. I suppose we'll kick off with a big brush. Big brush. And I guess the best color to start with is aquamarine blue. Cheers, Luna. All right. Here's our plate. Can you, you probably can't just see the ground, but that's okay. Gonna splash that in here. Lovely. Lovely. I'll just dive in here. Ultramarine. That's what we're after. Cheers, Brian. For more of a dotty day today. Done pretty well out of the op shops recently. And like in the most recent reel, I was talking about how I'm now not just looking for clothes, I'm also looking for vinyls, which is unique and pretty fun. Previously, I've just been going to the op shops looking for clothes and plates. Now we're after clothes, plates, and vinyl. Kind of cool, actually, kind of cool. All right, there we go. Ultramarine. A little bit more of this. There we go. A bit of both. There's our mix in the middle with a whole bunch of blue. Stir it on up. There we go. And it's going to pack some punch. All right, let's go. And the other player in this is going to be a whole bunch of white. But for the base coat, the key thing we want is It's just coverage. Let's adjust that a little bit more. First colour just mixes in straight away onto that white. Gobbles up. That's what we're after. Time to get our paint on. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. This is one of the beautiful parks around here in New Zealand. We've got a stack of them. We're very lucky in that sense. Beautiful. I want thick paint on to start with, and I want it everywhere. We're not holding back here, guys. We're throwing it around all over the show. Hello there, Johnny. Oh, just got bitten by a mosquito. Sandfly, probably. It'll justify us putting on some mosquito repellent. There we go. Beautiful. Exactly what we want it to look like, team. Now, we need a bunch of... What's the next colour going to be as an underlying colour? Ooh, Venetian red, or is that just too frisky? I think that's all right for these parts down here, but up the top, I think we'll go into a teal or a blue. We won't go too crazy. Well, Farah, glad to hear it. Hopefully by the end of it you'll be feeling ecstatic, full of joy. Depends what direction we take this painting in, I suppose. But the plan is almost certainly to make this a pretty joy-abundant image. Whew, that's right. It took the second sandfly bite to remind me. We need this. Sorry, Newly. I missed the question. Not him skipping the money question. Ugh. Let me scroll up and see what the money question was, Newly. From what I can tell, you didn't ask one. So I can't help you. Oh, oh thanks, Joe. I had a feeling. I was like, I think I'm on top of this chat right now. I think I'm on top of it. Look, honestly, it is breezy out, but this is a smaller canvas and it's not made like a giant sail. So the best thing about that is the wind will have a hard time capturing it. I swear to God I said it, TikTok must have muted it. TikTok typically only mutes things that are rude or sometimes they mix it up. I'm sorry it muted you. I'm sure you were just doing your best. There we go. Let's get a bit more of this up around here. See that there? Beautiful. Big wild strokes going everywhere. How do you say, Josh, look, honestly, I try and get out every now and again. I should have gone for a walk in this park actually, but I actually ended up doing a bit of an exercycle today, which is those bike units. So I leapt on one of those just for the morning, just to make sure my blood was pumping. I was doing some movement because I was feeling a bit lethargic. And then apart from that, I should be going for a run or a walk in here, but it is what it is. Now I'm trying to figure out where we're going with this. Where we're going with this? You wait. Ooh, you get excited. It's going to make total sense. We're seeing the big shapes first, and we're being quite wild. So very brash with our brush strokes. We're not too worried about getting the detail in it to start with. I always say that, but I feel like I always need to reconfirm that. Someone might be like, yeah, I know he says that, but we've always got to focus on the detail regardless. And I'm saying no. Don't do that. Just have fun. And we might even splash in here with a little bit of black. Just some touch points to refine certain parts of the body. But before we always do black, I think the next appropriate colour is an absolute stack of either Naples yellow, creamy ochre, or some sort of tan. Raw amber. That's our colour team. Raw amber. What is the most you've ever received for a painting? Jeepers. The most I've ever received for a painting. That's a funny question because does the focus... I'd more want to be asking, what are the intentions behind that question? Not because I won't answer it, but before you know the answer, if I told you, let's do some hypotheticals, if I told you it was $300, would you value me as less or more of an artist than if I told you 100 million? And you'd say, well, I definitely value you as more if you were worth more. But then we wouldn't take into account anything like the impact your art could have. And a good example I'd say with that is think about those cave drawings in Turkey, where they actually, I don't know if anyone paid them, certainly not in dollars, currency didn't exist yet, and yet that's one of the most meaningful bits of art that exists on this planet. Cheers, Farrah. Well, in this case, in my case, typically when it comes to making money off art, I follow a perspective where I think make enough that you can keep a roof over your head, make enough that you can keep making art, and make enough to put food on the table. And past that, it's all a bit irrelevant. And then past that, in terms of value in art, it wants to go entirely into, and it's going to sound cheesy, but it's the truth, how do you make people feel? What's the impact you're having? You started making art because you wanted to have an impact on people. What sort of an impact are you having? Is it positive? Tell me about that impact. Now, let's get down to the answer to the question, now that you've had a chance to perceive why you might be asking it. And let me say, I don't really remember. It'll be somewhere around 9, 10, 12,000, somewhere around that vicinity. But honestly, most of the paintings go for around 1 to 3,000 is the usual mark point. But guys, this again, this has no bearing on whether the art touches anyone or moves anyone or connects with anyone. And A good example is no one bought that banana that got taped to the wall of that gallery as an installation of art. Now I know we don't like that weird kind of modern art sometimes, but it's really, really important to understand art in the form of think less about money and more about how you're making people feel. If you will pay solely for money, it'll show up in your art. That's exactly right, Newly. That's exactly right. And that's why a lot of artists, and I talk about artists like Monet and Picasso, they had day jobs. And we always like to think that the best artists of all time would be millionaires and make tons of money out of their art, when the best artists of all time died before they ever really saw how famous they'd become. And that's really important, guys. That's really important because we would consider art success on how well noticed and how well valued our art is. And yet the two greatest artists of all time valued their art success on something very different, on how much they connected with it, or on faith that they actually saw something in their art that they hoped the rest of the world would see. Something. It definitely wasn't money, because they never made any. What compelled them to paint right up to the end of their days? Oh, I'll die and then maybe my son will have a better chance in selling my artwork. Do you think that really crossed Picasso, not Picasso's, Van Gogh or Monet's mind? I don't think so. I think they loved to make it, so they kept making it and did their best. Question was asked to better understand me as an artist. I think it's the equivalent, if I was to put it down, it's the equivalent of saying to someone on a dating website or on speed dating, how tall are you? As if that's the best way to suddenly understand someone's character. Don't get me wrong, it might get you what you're after. But if you're asking how tall someone is as the first question in an interaction, I'd consider the reasons you're pursuing them or asking the question in the first place. Here we go. Beautiful. Another coat on. Hello, Laura. Welcome on in from Peru. I haven't seen Peru up for a while now. And I'm not in Vegas right now. I'm in New Zealand, North Auckland. Yes, Roslyn, yes. It's not the outcome, it's the process. And one thing I like to say is, how many people do you think would still be artists if the results ceased to exist? How many people would still go out of their way to head out into nature or head into the studio and make art when the moment it was created and finished, it would be destroyed? Think about that. The moment you finish a piece of artwork, it ceases to exist. How many people would remain artists and say, I mean, for example, if you're a dirt bike rider or a skier, you don't get a piece of artwork at the end of a ski run, but you ski. And you're allowed to say in a conversation, I'm a skier. But if you produce art, we as a society put that expectation on people that actually you must sell your art in order to be an artist. But you don't have to be a good skier in order to be a skier. You can say, I ski every weekend. But to say you make art every weekend and not sell it would almost be to say that the art's no good. But you're allowed to ski every weekend and not be good at it and still be accepted as having fun. Now, I'm not sure what the conclusion of that is, but basically, I'm saying that if you want to make art, it doesn't matter about selling it. And someone's like, I don't like skiing. Totally fair, totally fair. But that goes into a bunch of things, guys. Like, you dance every weekend, or you love to dance, but you can't call yourself a dancer. What would be a dancer? I don't know, I think I think you can call yourself a dancer as such unless you're at the most professional level. And then apart from that, you'd be saying, I dance, and sometimes get paid for it. But I think we do that because we also expect all humans to dance. So maybe, the trick there, let's get a bit more of this in there, there we go, is that we also expect all humans to make art. And maybe we tripped up along the way and stopped putting that expectation on all humans. Swapping the brush down a little bit smaller there, guys. It's flat. This one here, same thickness, you'll see. But see how this one's really chubby? This one's nice and thin. So it's going to do the same surface area, but carry less paint. So we can niggle in with a few more bits of detail. We're using a mixture right now of egg tempera, gouache paint, and a acrylic polymer varnish. Now the reason why I add the acrylic polymer to it is it strengthens the binder, and it makes the egg tempera less likely to crack. So sometimes egg tempera can go on too thick and start to crack. With the binder in there, it's much safer. There we go. Look at that. This is the shorts he's wearing. Denim shorts. Beautiful. Beautiful. Hey, Katia Bayer? Katia Bayer, welcome on in. You're a race car driver, but I'm going to get into quad racing next year. Sky, you wildcat. I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing. Sky's a race car driver. Mean. I like that. Tempera is tricky. Tempera is tricky. So we combine it with a few different things here. Goes to there, that goes to there. Some little ripples there, that goes to there. That's the shoulder there, and that's that there. Is that perfect there? But then this head actually wants to come up to here we go. So that actually wants to come up higher. Your love keeps taking me higher, so high. Beautiful. Just like that. Lovely. Can you beatbox? No, not well. I mean, in high school, it was the coolest thing you could do. Everyone wanted to be a beatboxer. We were kids who could do it, make all the sorts of funky noises, and we all wanted to copy them. Now I'm less keen to be a beatboxer. So I guess that's times changing, right? Smudge art, oil painting. I do a lot. I like the classics. Give me acrylic art, acrylic painting, tempera painting, sometimes charcoal, but I miss the colour. And then I also like, what else do I like? Oil, acrylic, and egg tempera. Just the classics, team. Give me the classics. Here we go. Let's get that down to here. There we go. Beautiful. So a shadow there. And another shadow there. Lovely. Just lovely. And then let's slap another one down through here. There we go. See that there? Witty twitty. Beautiful. Bye, Farah. Welcome on. Well, thanks for coming on in, Farah. Appreciate that. And we'll see you next time. With a bit of luck. Don't want to be too presumptuous. Can you see something? Let me have a look to see if you guys can see it. It's coming in, it's coming in. It'll take a hot minute. No, it won't. It'll be fast, furious. Woohoo, the wind's coming through. There we go. Beautiful. A couple more little dark spots there. That's sorted there. And that's enough of our black right now. We will come back to it. But that's enough black for now. The next colour we'll slap in there is probably, definitely with a smaller brush, but we're going to capture. I want some cyan, but lighter with a little bit of white through it. Wait, I'm starting to see it. Yeah. It's starting to show up. That's good. That's good. All right. Primary blue. Not quite. What is that colour there? It's like grey. We won't overcook it. Let's use grey. Let's get white. Put that down here. A bunch of white. Mix it in with our vehicle. Voila. And then add on this brush here. I'm going to use the black left on the brush, mixed into this white here. We might just grab just a little more black. There we go. Let's give me that grey tone. Beautiful. All right. Is the colour correct? Let's find out. It's probably just a little bit matty. What's matty? There we go. A little bit more binder should fix that. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Let's get this in through here. You can start to see those ripples. So I want the ocean to feel like it's pulling out. So I want to just get that, those waves cascading through here a little bit, forming their own little puddles and pools. That's what these lines are. Waves going out. Cheers, guys. Trust the process? Yeah, indeed. And sometimes I've had paintings which don't come together right up until the last few moments. The last few moments. And you've sat there thinking, I don't like it. It's not quite right. Why isn't it quite right? And you think that over and over again. And then you trust it, lean into it, bang, there it is. So it's an element where you just have to have a little bit of faith in what could happen. And that maybe, even if it doesn't look like what you had planned out in your mind to start with, that it actually is falling into place just the way it needs to. There we go. Beautiful. There we go. Come around here. Beautiful. Yeah, the elegance of the moment. I like that. So there's a man, he's got his arm around his partner. He's looking down at her and smiling. And she's got her hand in her pocket, looking up at him with her arm around him too. Gazing up at him. It's kind of cute, actually. What part of New Zealand is this? This is Auckland, the big city. The big city. There we go. Beautiful. And scoop that around there too. Lovely and lovely. It's fallen into place. Hey, John. Yeah, it's coming together. All right, but more in the sky. Gonna start dominating that deep yellow ochre that we cascaded through there. Fun though it was, want to start warming it up. Muting it and then warming it up. Who have we got here? Hey Samuel. My favourite part of New Zealand, I love the bay. The Bay of Plenty has it going on, team. Bay of Plenty. It's where the Mount is. It's about 2.5 hours south of Auckland. 2.5 hours south. There we go. Hey you two, how you doing? Good day? Yeah. That's good. Making artwork. You heading out for a walk, are you? Yeah. Nice. Yeah? That's good. You can come for a closer look if you like, it's okay. Yeah, no worries at all. No, it's okay. It's the live stream, but you guys are okay. It's a hat. It's a hat, Josh. If I can see how you think that.
So you leave now?
Yeah. Yeah. But don't worry, I can talk to you too, they don't mind. I hope you don't mind. It's the early layers at the moment though, so I can see how you'd see an afro, but give it some time. Give it some time. Maybe it'll turn into a hat, or maybe we'll keep the afro. Who knows? There we go. Let's push it a little bit more through here. And up through this hair here. Beautiful. It's really coming together. We do mind. No, you don't, Josh. Hey, Karen, how we doing? Chat, is this real? Of course it is, March. Well, unless you mean, is it in the flesh? Otherwise, no, it's not. Because you would be literally here right now and you wouldn't be looking at your phone. But if you mean real in the idea that somewhere in the world this is happening right now, and that place is New Zealand, and there's a Kiwi guy getting blown by the wind while he tries to add some coats of paint to this work here and transpose some energy onto a canvas so a client somewhere else in the world can be happy with a beautiful piece of artwork that can bring joy to their lives for years to come, then yeah, definitely. All right, there we go. Beautiful. You know, grey's an underestimated colour, guys. A lot of the time we try and run off and construct paintings out of a whole bunch more colours. When actually, as a matter of fact, there's so much left in grey to help embody the other colours. You see, the more grey I add in here, it's not taking over the painting as such, but it's making the remaining colours pop. Look at that aquamarine now. When it first went on, it dominated it, but didn't have as much pop as the little patches do now. That's where things like negative space, or things like contrast with the tones or hues around them, can start having massive impacts on the overall painting. Colour theory, baby. So important, so important. All right, let's get a bit more in here. There we go. Right up to the top. Beautiful. And up and around here. Fantastic. Probably get this in. There we go. Getting a little bit jutty with the brush now, which is okay. Splash it round. Splash it round. Depends also, what colour do we have the audacity to grab next? Waiting for my painting here of a miracle dares. All right, that's exciting. If a miracle dares. That'd be quite cool tattoo actually. If a miracle dares. There we go. All right. That's the two big brushes done. Now, move down to something a bit more controllable. This size. Half the size again. And the next colour off the ranks is going to be something quite fun because we've done our mahi, which is mouldy from work. We've done our mahi and we've got our base coat down. Now we can go a little bit crazy with our blue. And we're going to add it in to the background. A little bit in the foreground, but the background. Where that sea is. It's not your regular blue. This is cerulean blue. A strong wind coming in here. I'm in a park. So, beach with a park. Well, it's a park by a beach. Does that count? Hopefully. There we go. And now, the colours we add, now that we have those base colours down nice and strong, are going to have a slight element of transparency through them. And that little bit of transparency, excuse me one second, that little bit of transparency is going to allow all the colours to come through in the final result. Not just a few, but all the colours. There we go. Beautiful. This is the ocean there. Can go all the way up to that dirty black line there. Slowly start engulfing it in the colour of the sea. All right. Keep it coming. Then we're going to add a little bit into this t-shirt here. These shirts actually they're white shirts. They're both wearing white shirts, but they do have, because of the way the photo is done, a strong pigment hue of blue. So we'll add that in, capture that element. There we go. Whoo-wee. Come up around here. Beautiful. And then coming on down here. There we go. Lovely. And we're going to splash this out and start bringing some blues into this environment down through here. Not too many. Sky, you're off back to your racing. Fair enough. I'll tell you what, Sky, it's pretty lucky this thing here is pegged to the ground. Because if you can see that wind coming at me from behind and the way it's actually blowing everywhere, we're battling. We're battling. The weather came here not to play. There we go. Beautiful hair, beautiful blonde hair that we want to capture in a huge variety of colours. And if you want to capture the variety of colours within blonde hair, one way that I love to do it is start with all the colours you wouldn't expect. Your blues, your blacks, your dark ochres, all of these. And then as you build up layers, what's going to happen? Yeah. All those colours will come out shimmering in the end result and really make the hair pop. So that's our plan here. With our blue, blacks and dark ochres. We're going to get some probably oranges in there, Naples yellows to end up. And we'll just have a lot of fun. Here we go. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, we'll be posting the results. So I'll get most of the way through it. I say most of the way through it. We'll get a lot of the fun colours down today. And then, the next step is going to be to come on back and start splashing around with more transparent tones and just building up the overall depth in the work. We've done this before where we start a painting and then I say, yes, it looks nice, but now we want depth. So the picture looks fun right now, but like I say, we still want that depth built in. See that transparency coming in here? See how that grey still exists? Really, really strong underneath it. I like that. I like that. And then all we have to do is just spread it out enough so you can still make out those other bits and pieces underneath. There we go. Lovely. Spread it, baby. So we get our strong colours and start throwing them around in there. Can add those in too. Really make it good. Here we go. Nice. On the hat here. Love it. And down here, this is actually part of his face through here. It'll start coming more into context. He's looking over that way. And the brim of the hat faces down towards her there. Pops up there a little bit. Scoop off that heavier paint. And then it comes through here a little bit too. That's lovely. Keeping the texture reasonably flat right now. Reasonably flat. So that way, I can always alter things and change things as time goes on, rather than being stuck and committed with where shapes might land. There we go. Coming all the way down in here. There we go. God, I can't wait to turn this into a giant kaleidoscope of colours exploding out. There we go. Beautiful. Down through there. A little bit thick there, but we can smooth it out. There we go. A bit more in here. So suddenly I'm in love with a stranger. I can't believe she's mine. Hello, Jason. I'm doing good, mate. Jason, we're painting two people down at the beach today. So this is a lovely couple. We're just adding in paint all over the show to build up those crazy wild layers underneath. Wa-ta-ta. And then from there, we're just going to keep on adding in all the pigments we can imagine. This is going to be about 40 pigments, but I want you to imagine 40 pigments without the darkness. So we've put the black down just to mark out some shapes, but I want you to expect this to just, pow, turn into the most crazy kaleidoscope of hues exploding out. So we've got our first two down, first two important hues. And you may be able to include ultramarine in that, but that's a bit softer. We've got the blues, cerulean blues, and we've got our flame reds. The ochres don't really count. They're just there as an undertone to start with. A bit mean for me to say the ochres don't count, but also magenta. Yeah, let's get some magenta in here. A little bit of magenta, a little bit of this. And I love moving on to magenta from blue, because if you move on to magenta from blue, the blue gets in there and makes it kind of like a royal purple, which is really fun. Now, how's our thing there? Yeah, we're golden. We're golden. So, it's in a fun space. And we've got to make sure that we don't get excited and just keep spreading out these colours more and more. We want to start layering them on top of each other. So that way when you look at this magenta, you don't just see magenta, you see cerulean blue, flame red, ochre, with magenta perched on top, having the final impact, but not the only impact. There we go. Beautiful. So suddenly I'm in love with a stranger. I can't believe she's mine. Now all I see is you with fresh eyes. Fresh eyes. There we go. Coming across here. There we go. Beautiful. And coming across into her face. Lovely. Just coming down through here. There we go. And it's a little bit in the hair there too. We won't be shy around there. And coming down this arm. Beautiful. All the way down. So suddenly I'm in love with a stranger. I can't believe she's mine. There we go. Just keep splashing it around, playing with these colours. Hey Shawnee, how you doing? And hello from Maltika. Thanks, Brax. There we go. We've got a lot of magenta. Coming on down in here. There we go. And down around here. Nice. So now between these three colours you can really start to see the pigment's really popping out. That's the goal here. And this is only three of them. Ooh, in the South Island. All right, all right. Well, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. It's pretty cool how we're getting some more Kiwis on the stream. Not that I don't love the international audience, I just think it's kind of fun that people from home are tuning in as well. Kind of cool. There we are. It's actually a little bit of a trick. It's pretty cold here at the moment. Usually it's warmer than this. If I could bottle this up, bottle this up, I would. Question is, what's the next wild direction we're going to take? Stay on this pink train. Gonna hop off and attack some more blues. Who knows? Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And if there's no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let's go over here. There we go. Beautiful. Lovely. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't stay. I said something wrong, how I long for yesterday. Bada bing. La da dee dee da da doo dee da. La da dee da 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 dee da. Da doo dee da. Da doo dee da. That's enough of that pink now. You ever do this at a wedding? Jenna, no, I haven't done it at a wedding. But I will say, Sarah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's funny, get the mates from here in New Zealand. We use the word mate. We say, thanks, mate, or like, well done, mate. But the rest of the world finds it, catches them off guard a little bit. But anyway. And with a wedding, it'd be different because I do so many layers. And like I say, since it's a chaos element, we're making art and we're not using the craft side of things. Sometimes it goes completely wrong. It doesn't always go right. And because we take that risk, you wouldn't want to do it at a wedding because you risk not threading the needle. And even if it's 1 in 100 times, that's still, I don't know, it doesn't feel great. The idea that there's a possibility that it would fall to pieces at a wedding. Of course, we could always get the best photo from the wedding and then proceed to paint it. That's not that safety's what you need, but that's always a possibility, which is a way of, if it doesn't go right for me, I can just start from scratch. Go right. For some reason, chaos wasn't our friend today. It's gone in the wrong direction. Let's start over. There we go. But usually, I say this right before it turns out not to be the case sometimes. Usually chaos is our friend. But sometimes we can't thread that needle. And reality comes calling. Says, excuse me, I'll take one painting with me, please. You've got nothing you can do. but let it take it. There we go. Beautiful. There we go. Now the paint's landing with the right intensity. Absolutely beautiful. We're going to come down in here a little bit, thicken out that part. There we go. Then down over the hip. Wonderful. His shirt comes down and just rests on his hip there. And then we're going to come down his leg there a little bit. Add a little bit of colour into his denim pants. Dip down lower here. There we go. All the way down to the bottom. Nice. Nice. Now you see colours exploding. That's what we are after. I like it when Aussie calls me mate. Yeah. Different cultures are different. Different cultures are different. New Zealanders and Australians use it all the time. But I can see how it wouldn't be picked up the same somewhere else. Have I done a portrait of former Prime Minister? Jeepers. I haven't even done a portrait of the current Prime Minister. But I wouldn't be opposed to as a project. It's definitely a possibility. She could commission me. I could do her partner, their child. I put everything I could into it. Make it as beautiful as possible. Clark Gayford? I don't know what the child's name is. Maybe that was kept under wraps. Who knows? There we go. Beautiful. So you can see we had a bit of form there at the start, and you could even argue that we're losing a bit of that form as we continue to add paint on. This isn't a bad thing. This is a good thing. We're willing to discard, I think discard's the right word, a little bit of the form of the picture in order to get some more of that crazy colour and paint over the surface. Beautiful. Lovely. Now, I want baby blue. Do you ever do more dark paintings? Ooh, life's hardships, Brax. Sometimes. Neve is their daughter's name. That makes sense. I did not know such things. Look, painting life's hardships. I think as a painter, your responsibility is to put more out into the world of what you'd like to see in the world. What's the thing? Be the change you want to see in the world. I think in the world right now, there's a lack of vitality. There's a lack of joy, and we could argue all day about why that would be. But for me, I would like to think that if I could do something to bring more vitality, more joy, more primal, unbridled expression into the world to make us feel more human, that would be a worthy pursuit. So that's why my art always takes on the form of like a kick of coffee. I like that. But look, if I thought that actually the world could benefit from seeing some more hardship, grueling grunge and struggle, I would absolutely pivot and make more of that. But at the moment, I think the world needs colour. I think the world needs crazy expression, cascading pigments and just wild strokes. But like I say, I'm totally willing to pivot when and if that changes. Thanks, Skeleton. It's good that you're still here, Skeleton. I appreciate it. You know, Skeleton, we should have done a skeleton painting for Halloween. I can't remember what Halloween's painting was. We did something, but it's gone from my memory. I'm going to grab a little bit of this pale rose blush. There we go. A lot of that. Mix that in here. Thanks, Brax. I appreciate that. But I think that's important. It's like saying, I was going to say like a politician who. Politician's a bad example. Think like. I don't need an example. I think artists wield an enormous amount of power or responsibility. And you're like, but no one looks at my art. It doesn't matter whether they see it or not. What matters is that you produce something that's meaningful and true to you, of what you want to see in the world. Gandhi didn't say be the change you want to see in the world, but only if you're famous. If you're not famous, you can do what you like. If you're not influencing millions of people, don't worry about it. Just chill. Just do you, baby. Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see in the world. And that's important. I gotta say, I agree with him. I have actually done, back in the early piece, a few paintings of like, what were they? I don't remember exactly what they were, but they weren't like hugely positive paintings. And I was like, I don't like these. I don't like the feelings they're trying to manifest. Hey Chad, my dog's tail fell off, so he went to the retail store. Well done, it is a good one. It is a good one. You get that 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, Chad. Sometimes I do feel like you're just scrolling down through your TikTok feed, waiting to bump into me from on your For You. And when you do, you're like, pun locked and loaded. Which, don't get me wrong, I agree with your technique 100%. It's a beautiful technique. Speaking of beautiful techniques, I do have to run soon. I've got 14% battery, so we've got a bit of time up our sleeves, but I just say this now, so if it sneaks up on us, I don't just run away. Run away, run away from the pain. Yeah. This one, Journey's got a gun. It's very, very funny going back and watching Not Another Teen Movie now that the lead male actor is Captain America. There we go. Beautiful. beautiful. It is a good day, Candace. This gives me this. Oh, cheers, Craig. I don't know who that is, but I hope she's a lovely individual. There we go. Slap that through there. In the face here, just a little bit. There we go. Man, I'm really starting to see some elements of the painting falling into place a lot more. And I know I shouldn't have, but recently I watched that new show, Squid Game. It was pretty melodramatic, guys. But I like that I did get hooked, I will say. Because I wanted to see the ones who were mean to the other participants not make it through to the next round. And I feel like the end of it, no spoilers, but the lady, oh, it's a spoiler, the person with the best morality, I liked her moral compass the most. There we go. Making good ground. Is it spring here? Marching? Not quite, not quite. I think we're going into summer, but at the moment, we're in the shade. So it definitely has more of a spring vibe to it. I think that's safe to say. There we go. I'm just going to come in here a little bit more. There we go. And that's going to nip. Around like that, and then just in here, just like that. Perfect. It's 1st of December summer. Yeah, so we're technically in summer, but this time of day under these trees definitely has a springish feel to the overall vibe. I think that's safe to say. There we go. through here. There we go. And these characters gently, slowly take form. Hello, Steve. How we doing? I can't understand that, Mary Love, but good to have you in here too. All right. A little bit more over here to make these little waves come into context. Cool. We've got a lot of that paint left, but actually we've used up everywhere where it can go. So, unfortunately, that's just my mistake for mixing up gallons more than I needed. There we go. Perfect. Now, next colour. What's it going to be? I think I'm feeling a green. Thanks, Brandy. All right, we've just ticked over to 10%. So we're on our last 10%, but, ooh, last 10% and last 2 plates. That's exciting. I love it when stuff starts getting intense like that. Let's go for one of these. Okay, green first, then yellow. That's the plan. That's the plan. Olive green to start with. We might actually add a little bit of white into that, just to spruce it up a wee bit. It's a little bit dark, get more of a minty kaffir tone to it. Kefir, minty kefir tone. It's night time, yeah. Well, it's going on 5 o'clock here in New Zealand at the moment, so you're probably deep into the night where you are. All right, let's get this here, mix this up. Beautiful kaffir lime colour. That's what I'm after. Lovely. I'm going to use this to really play around this coastline. There we go. Bounce around all through here. Here we go. Beautiful. Cascading strokes. A few more around here. And a few more down here. There we go. Beautiful. Down in here as well. And a couple of little spots. Getting all those little waves. Lots of foam here. foam as the waves pull back out to the sea. Beautiful. Big blops around this part, and the further we go back, the more they'll mellow out, turn more into larger, more relaxed strokes. Wow. And congratulations, team. We've been here for 90 minutes. Hey, Chris. Thanks, Em. Miak, good to see you here. And we're on 14,000 likes, which is pretty cool, team. So we've been making some good ground here. Making a painting. Colour by colour. There we go. Beautiful. There we are, a bit more down through here. Perfect. And up in here. You'll notice one thing we do here is the background is made at the exact same time as the foreground, and this creates a great integration between the two. Otherwise, you always have this weird sort of line that marks what you cared about and what had to be there to make the surface rectangle. And I don't like that. I like it when the background and foreground have some play. They dance between each other, sometimes confuse themselves with each other, where the person ends and the actual foreground begins, background begins. There we go. We'll get some more of this up through here. See how we're lightening up that colour palette in the sky. There we go. Uplifting, flicking, controlling. There we go, we're going to get a bit more of that through there. See, the sky's actually got that luscious blue colour in it, but I'm going to put this undercoat of green in there. Just to add that beautiful depth to it. So once we get around to really building up the sky, we already have that underlying beauty. Almost like a reflection of the sea. There we go. Lovely. May even want to get that more intense mix through some areas like here. There we go. Beautiful. And the last colour we're going to use today, guys, before I dash with my 7%, hey Samara, how we doing? Yeah, day for it, there's no doubt. Before I dash, we're going to add on this last primary colour, which is going to be our yellows. And they're going to be, I don't want to say obnoxious, but they're going to come off obnoxious as they enter this painting. So prepare for it. They're going to dance around this surface, taking control of this canvas. And the reason they'll seem like they take control is so far we've just seen those beautiful magenta pigments and those underlying blues. So when yellow enters the picture, it's not going to play nice with them. It'll have harmony, but it'll have an amazing effect where yellow, weirdly enough, now currently completely not represented at all, will start to engulf and contrast against everything else that lacks its pigment and start to dominate the picture, which is really, really fun, guys. It's a great effect to do because usually yellow, colour of happiness, can get just a wee bit maligned. Maligned, is that the right word? Left behind, overpowered, underplayed. But at the moment, magenta's really enjoying having a friend. So we're on the right track there. 'Cause blue's quite close to magenta. So although it hangs out with blue, it doesn't really get that same level of contrast that you can get from those shockingly bright yellows. There we go. Beautiful. And coming down here, these pants are actually yellow. So when we put the yellow in here, we're going to actually overdo it and give them almost like a base coat of yellow. So you actually think, oh, is that actually, there's some more brightness to that tone there. There we go, lovely. See the indication of a lovely yellow pants there. We're starting to bring in these shirts here. You're starting to see the idea that maybe they're a lighter colour. Dark pants, light pants. And then a background full of life. God, we're just going to abundant life in this background, just loaded up with colour. Like a kaleidoscope that you threw into the air and fired a firework at and let loose on the world. That's what we're up to here. We just want so much colour and pigments. And the way we do that is, it's going to sound strange, but we keep those pigments transparent. Keep them transparent so you can keep layering up, so that the pigments we see at the start are the same ones you'll see at the end as we layer up with all these wild, crazy colours. To make sure they all have that unique pop, that comes from the egg tempera. To make sure it has that lovely shine and transparency, that comes from the what's called primal. Essentially, it's an acrylic polymer. Pigments, we use a mixture here. I've been jumping backwards and forwards between watercolour pigments and gouache pigments. And the reason I use both is they have a different, the pigments in watercolour are finer, so they're more transparent. The pigments in gouache are thicker, stronger. So the pigment's colour will be stronger, but it won't be as transparent. So you choose where you want them to go. They're not just a one size fits all. I'm typically finding I have to dabble with both to get all the effects that I want to get in a painting. There we go, last little bit. There we are. Beautiful. And that is our colours for today. Oh, screen's just gone dark, guys. Let me just fix that. There we go. He's blowing all about. Yeah, it's a windy day, but we're completed there now, and that is our messy base coat one. So I'll bring you around so you can see it a little bit better from the side here. So from the side here, the first thing you'll see, and like I was saying, guys, we're not focused on way too much detail at the moment. What we're focused on is crazy expression. So you'll start to see a lady hugging into a man, and he's looking down at her with a cap on his head. She's in light pants, he's in dark pants, denim pants, and are standing there as the water pulls back away from them. So they're surrounded by water, okay? So they're actually that close to the sea. This is the sea up here, and all of this is water pulling back to the sea. So if we start to get an inkling of that, but actually what we really want to get, is that crazy expression of that, then we can build in detail as we go and go from there. That's the go. Anyway, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. There's our base coat number 1. We've put a lot of wild colors down, but like I say, we're only about 8 pigments in. We still need another 32. So I want you to imagine this with 32 more pigments on it. That's where we're going, that's the plan. It's gonna be wild. I think we've chosen just the right time to stop though, because I'm sitting on 4%. Oh, cheers, Samara, I appreciate that. And so I'll go home, charge my phone, and we'll go from there. If you want to see something really wacky, the most recent reel, I actually attached the canvas to a fire hose reel, and so it could spin, which super fun. We'll keep doing that outside, of course, because it was messy, but it was super fun. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Steve, good to see you. Jay Smith, look after yourself. Cheers, guys. Bye.